This is one of those home theater devices that doesn't try to compete with a TV. It tries to replace the idea of a cinema experience entirely inside your room. We're talking about a premium 4K laser home theater projector built for people who care more about image fidelity than anything else on the spec sheet. At first glance, the design is very restrained. There's no aggressive styling, no gaming-inspired aesthetics, no unnecessary visual elements. It's a serious piece of equipment meant to be installed, aligned, and left alone. Ceiling mount setups, dedicated theater rooms, dark environments. That's the target. Once you power it on, the first thing you notice is how clean the image looks. This system is using native 4K SXRD imaging, meaning every frame is built from true 4K resolution rather than pixel shifting or digital reconstruction. On a large projection surface, that difference becomes very obvious. Fine details in textures, edges, and backgrounds stay intact even when you scale up to cinematic screen sizes. Then comes the laser light source. This is a big part of the experience. Unlike traditional lamp systems that degrade over time and require replacement, laser keeps brightness more stable over its lifespan. Startup is fast, operation is consistent, and long viewing sessions don't come with noticeable drift in image quality. It also helps maintain stronger contrast behavior across different content types. Contrast is where this projector really starts to feel high-end. Dark scenes don't collapse into gray haze, and bright highlights don't feel blown out or uncontrolled. Instead, there's a sense of balance where shadow detail and highlight detail coexist in the same frame. That's something you usually only notice when it's done wrong on cheaper systems. Color performance is tuned toward realism rather than exaggeration. Skin tones don't shift into unnatural hues, gradients look smooth instead of banded, and overall color balance feels grounded. It's the kind of output that doesn't constantly remind you you're watching a display. It just feels natural. HDR content benefits heavily from this calibration. High dynamic range scenes are handled with controlled brightness mapping, meaning bright objects retain structure instead of clipping into white, while darker regions still preserve depth. The result is a more dimensional image, especially in modern movies that rely heavily on HDR grading. Motion handling is another strong point. Fast action scenes stay stable without excessive blur or jitter. Sports content, action films, and high-motion sequences maintain clarity as the frame transitions smoothly. It avoids the artificial over-processing look while still keeping motion readable. Even though this is not primarily a gaming-focused device, responsiveness is still respectable. Input delay is low enough for casual gaming setups and even competitive play when properly configured. On a large screen, the immersion factor alone changes how gaming feels, even if that's not its main purpose. Where this projector also stands out is consistency. Once installed and calibrated, it doesn't feel like something you constantly need to adjust. Geometry holds, focus remains stable, and it behaves like a fixed cinematic system rather than a flexible consumer gadget. This is not designed for portable use or bright living rooms without control. It performs best in controlled lighting environments where the image can fully dominate the space. That's where it starts to look closest to an actual theater experience. What makes this system interesting is not just one standout feature, but how everything works together. Imaging, light source, processing, color science, and motion control all feel aligned toward one goal: cinematic realism at scale. In real-world use, the experience shifts how you watch content. Movies feel larger, more immersive, and more intentional. You stop thinking about resolution or brightness and start focusing on the content itself, which is exactly what a system like this is supposed to achieve. For anyone building a serious home theater setup and prioritizing projection over traditional displays, this sits in the upper tier of what's available in the consumer space. It's not about being flashy. It's about disappearing into the experience and letting the image take over the room. For full details, specifications, and availability, check the link in the description.